Every day of my life has been the same routine. I wake up, go to work, eat, and come back to sleep. Except, unlike other people, I work at odd hours. I sleep during the day and go to work late at night. When I was a little girl, my mother would always work late at night, and every time she would come back with a different guy. They would always spend the night, and by the time I woke up, they were gone. It wasn't just my mother. My auntie also worked at the same place. There was one time when I was young where I asked my mother and my auntie, who were these men that came by the house so often? My mother would say that these people gave us the ability to have a life, and that when I was older, I would understand what it meant to survive. One of the biggest things I could never get out of my mind was where my father was. Sometimes I would see these men and wonder if one of them could be my dad. Did they know about me, or wonder how I am? I always hoped that my father would come and rescue me. I just wanted to be like everyone else, and I always got jealous of my friends when they spoke about their families. I grew up believing that the only way to survive in this world was to never question, but always follow whatever my mother and my auntie did. They did everything they could to provide for our family, even if it meant using their bodies. I remember so clearly the day that my mother gave up her dreams for us. I was in the 4th grade, and my auntie asked my mother to drop out of university to help her make a living. My mother didn't want to, but she had no choice and left her life behind. Sometimes there wouldn't be many customers, and my mother and auntie would have to work less. This meant we wouldn't have any money or anything to eat for days. Those times were always so hard on our family because my mother would get so stressed and drink a lot, sometimes taking her anger out on me. I didn't understand why we had to struggle or why my mother's work was so different from everyone else. All I knew was that I shouldn't ask any questions and just follow whatever my mother asked me to do. I was only a kid. I didn't understand what was going on or why I had to do this. I just wanted to be a good girl and do whatever I could to make my mother proud. The first time it happened, my mother told me not to be afraid and that I'm doing a great thing for our family. My mother said to me that it would hurt a little, but that the pain would eventually go away. But she was wrong. I still feel the pain, and the fear never went away. And all I can do is hope that I made my mother proud. After the man was finished, he gave me the money and left. I sat on the bedroom floor, wondering, why me? Once I was done, I got home, and for the first time, my mother didn't get angry. Instead, she told me how proud she was of me, that I was such a good girl, and I am doing a great thing to help provide for our family. I thought the more I did it, the easier this job would become, but it never got any easier. There are so many different people and different faces. Every time it felt like my heart was shattering, but it's all that I knew. I had no way out. All I could do was close my eyes and wonder about other people. What did they do for work? Did they love their job? Do they struggle like me? I grew up in a world where everyone else I knew had to do this to survive, to keep going. There were many times where I wondered if I could do any other work, if there was any other way to make money. While I laid there, I couldn't help but silently cry, wishing that this would be over soon, that I didn't have to feel this pain every day. And sometimes, the men would notice and they would laugh at me, calling me pathetic. I have to close my eyes though, so I don't remember their faces, so I don't have to see what they are doing to me. It's been 10 years now, and I don't know how I kept going for so long. A lot of people might judge and think that this is an easy job and that I am lazy, but they don't understand how hard it is to be in this world, to feel so alone. There is no joy or respect in this profession. To sleep with people I don't even know every day. There have been times where I thought I had found love, because at first, the men would show me affection that I have never experienced before. I was so naive, but I didn't know any better. I have never known what love feels like, either from my family or anyone else. But it was always the same. After they had gotten what they wanted, they would become so cold and treat me like a stranger. It was like their affection never happened. I would always feel so stupid.
17.
One day, my friend decided that she had enough and needed to get out of this profession. She found another job and begged me to leave with her, telling me there was another way to make money that would allow us to be like everyone else. For so long, I've been waiting to hear those words, waiting for a miracle to find a way out. It's been a few years, and I've grown up realizing that society did not look kindly on the world that I was in. For my whole life, all I've ever wanted was to be accepted by everyone else and have a chance at a normal life. I know that many people will probably see this and think that I'm making excuses for my situation. But you have to understand that this was all I knew. I didn't realize that there could be a way out. I grew up believing that this was the only way my family and I could survive, that there was no other options for someone like me. All I wanted to do was make my mother proud, to be a good daughter, to always listen and never question. I currently make a lot less than I used to, with only 300 baht per day and sometimes less. There are many times that I have asked myself if I made the right decision or if I should have stayed in my old life. With such a small amount of money, it's sometimes not enough to support me or my family. It is in these moments that I hear my mother's voice telling me how stupid I am. But I know in my heart that this was the right decision. I can be a part of society, and I can tell people what I do without judgment or disgust. There have been times where people I work with have found out about my past, and they look at me in disgust, calling me lazy and that I wanted quick and easy money. But they have no idea what I went through, how hard it was to do that job. They'll say that my friends and I are worthless. It makes us feel worse about trying to be normal. All we want to do is to be accepted by everyone else, to feel like we belong. But when this happens, I wonder if we even deserve to get out of that world. It's hard feeling like I belong or deserve to be a part of society. All I ever wanted was to be normal, to be like everyone else and have a chance at love and life. I was so young when I started. I had no idea what it meant to be in my position. I just wanted to be a good daughter, and if I didn't listen, my mother would take her anger out on me. Do you think a girl who is in 4th grade would understand what's going on? What's wrong or right? In the end, you can't choose what families you're born into and the world that you grow up in. All you can do is try your best to live with what you are given and try.